So hello guys, how's it doing? So following you up here with our lab, today we are going to configure the external identity source on ISE and make some configurations between the network access device, which is SC003, and the ISE. For that, remember that we have a firewall between them, so we need to work with the firewall as well today to allow ports 1812 and 1813 to allow the communication from the switch to ISE. We need to register ISE on the server, on the Active Directory. We need to join the ISE node on the Active Directory. I'll show to you guys that. And basically on this basic topology, we will work on the authenticator today, which is the switch, and the authentication server, and just take a look at how Microsoft AD works. One thing to you guys keep in mind that clocks matter here. So to join, for example, to join the ISE node on this Active Directory server, so right now it's 4:20 p.m. So if you access ISE here, it should have the same time, because otherwise it will not work. So let's do this. ise01.securitylab.com. Let's check it out. Admin, password, show clock. Here we go. 4:20 p.m. in the server. 4:20 p.m. What else I can show to you guys? Oh, show NTP. You guys will be that there is a asterisk mark here which say that is current the time source, and I'm running the time source, the NTP, on SC001 and SC002. So basically, if you do a show run interface VLAN 11, you will see this command here, NTP broadcast, and show run pipe include NTP. We will see these two commands, NTP source is VLAN 11 and NTP master, because this will be a master, the master of the NTP. So ISE is synced with the NTP, and so let's jump to the web UI and check it out and join this ISE node to the domain. Let's see how that works. It's pretty simple, not a big deal. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is that the clocks matter, so time zone should match the clock. So if I'm not wrong, time, I think more than 5 minutes or 10, I don't remember exactly, will not work. So to join the ISE node to the domain, or integrate ISE with the domain server, you just go to administration, identity management, external identity source. Here's the place where you can configure, for example, the LDAP, radius token, RSA, summon. We will work only with Active Directory for now. Oh, and I already did this, so let me delete this one pretty quick. So leave the domain first. Oh God. So leave it. Leave it and delete it, just to let you guys know how to do it. So okay, delete it. So right now let's go back from the beginning. Active Directory, adds. We can create just a name, so sec lab. Let's put like sec lab AD, and here is the domain. Our domain is securitylab.com. This is our domain. Okay, now ISE is gonna ask us to join in the domain. Yes, why not? We're gonna use our administrator, our password, and for example, if you have ISE in a large deployment or even a small deployment, when you have a a service account only for ISE, or a service account that should be able to add a new computer to domain, you can store the credentials here, and then since this account, the password will not expire, so you can store credentials. And if you have something like a specific organizational unit to put here, you can also add here. Just for, it's not needed, it's not mandatory, and or you for example, in this case, let me show to you guys. As you guys can see here, I'm gonna add the ISE machine on this organization unit, right? So this is the organization unit. Where is it? Let me go here, new, here you go, organizational unit. So if I want, for example, that this ISE node should be created in other organizational unit, I can change here to specify the organizational unit and store the credentials. Basically, that's it. I will say okay, and let's see what's gonna happen. So completed, right? So right now we need to retrieve groups from the Active Directory. So basically, what I have here, I create 3 new organizational unit, one for the computers, one for the groups, and one for the users. So if you go to users, we see that there is HR, MKT, and IT. Basically, we need to import these groups, and based on these groups, we will create rules like, for example, if you are from the IT, you are able to access everything. If you are from the HR, you receive an ACL that will block you from access the devices and allow anything else. Or if you are from the marketing, you will be able to log in and go to social media, but this is made on FMC. So basically, we will use that groups to allow or not the access of the users based on their groups. And where we do that, we came to here, groups, we click add, select the groups from directory, we can retrieve the groups. If you have a large environment where, for example, there is a lot of groups, so it's easiest way is to click to find here, for example, for IT, and click retrieve groups. But for me, there is just a few ones, so I'll go one by one. So MKT for marketing. I will also want to add domain computers, because we will have some authentication for the computers, not for the users. Domain users are the one, because I have these 3 other groups. So let's go with where is IT and HR? Where is my groups? I think I passed through it. Well, I think I need to use this, right? So retrieve groups, IT, and say okay, and MKT, retrieve groups, select groups on directory, and IT, no, it's HR. This is the 3 main groups that they're gonna use, and if you need it, we can create new ones later. So just save it, and then for the integration, for now, the integration between the Active Directory and ISE, it's okay. We have the groups imported, and now we're gonna to configure the NED, the network access device, which is the switch or the wireless controller. Since it's not possible to reproduce a access point on this lab, I will go with the switch, but basically we can do the same thing, but it's not under the Wi-Fi. So let me access here this guy, S003 admin. So why is thinking is 10.1.1.251. So one of the IP address is 10.1.1.251, right? We will have this as S003/32. There is no model name. I never saw something. This always shows a no, even in the new version. We can create a new group for location. We can create a new location here, say that it's security lab. I think I need an underscore here, and I will talk about IPsec later, but if there is an IPsec tunnel between the NAD and ISE, we can select here yes. Basically that's it. I never had the chance to use it, but we can try to make this with one device just to have fun. And device type, I would say that this will be under the groups device type switches, and you guys can see later that basically we are segregated here, right? So switches, and when we are going to create some policies, we can use these policies as we can use this location, device type to segregate the policy and create a more accurate policy. So basically for this guy, for now we're gonna use radius, and radius will request just passwords like Cisco. We don't need to worry about anything else right now. You can also put DNS name, but I don't think I have it for this one. So let's go to the DNS tools, DNS, forward lookup zone, security lab zone. There is no SW03, but for sure we can create it. So how to enter a new host? Just click new host, create associate point, SW03, and IP address 10.1.1.252. Here we go. Let's go back here. SW03.security.lab.com. Nothing else, no encryption key. And also we will do some TACACs on this guy here, so I will just enable right now, and then later we can check. And the password for this one is also Cisco. So let's submit. So right now this switch is here. Now we go to the switch. I already pre-configured just to save some time. And guys, if you need this script here, that script that I did to configure your own lab, just let me know. This script is configured for radius and TACACs. So basic stuff here from the switch, I'll not go through it. So basically I create a new username. I enable the AAA here, the AAA authentication. There is lab underscore ISE is the TACACs plus server, and only ISE is the radius server. Then this is the command for logging for .1x. So everything that is only ISE is related to the radius. Everything that is lab underscore ISE is related to TACACs. I'll not go through each one of them because you can just find it in the Cisco documentation. But basically these ones is the let's say the required commands for .1x and TACACs works. AAA server radius dynamic author, it's for COA, change of authorization. What that means, when we are having some kind of, depending of the type of authentication that we are having, the first point, for example, the client will be locked in an ACL. So in the port of the switch, we'll have the authentication, okay, but there is an ACL applied. And after, for example, after some verification, or after you click in a button to reauthorize this on ISE, but most of the time it's automatically. In a postury situation, for example, when you're using ISE for postury, that's happening. At the first time, the client has an access list on the interface, and then after any connect provides to ISE, if the device is compliant, the ISE will send a COA, a change of authorization, to remove that ACL and allow the access in the network. So that this is the command that allows COA to work. IP device tracking and IP device tracking probe, it's a required commands. Authentication MAC move permit as well, critical recovery delay 1000 as well. This command enables the .1x in the whole box. Critical E pool, this is good as well. What else? And under the interfaces, where we have all of these commands. So basically, let me go each one of them. So if there is any fail, go to the next mode. Basically is this. So for example, try .1x. If .1x failed, go to map. So that's this command what mean. Server that action, for example, if we switch lost connection with ISE, so you don't need to panic anything. So we will put everyone in the VLAN 22, which maybe it's a controlled VLAN with an ACL and so on. If you have a voice VLAN, we will also authorize the voice VLAN if the server is dead. When the server comes back alive, you just reinitialize and restart the authentication process, right? This one is the mode, is the multi-auth mode. So basically we have 4 modes. One is multi-host, which, for example, if the multi-host is enabled in a port, the first one that being authenticated will be okay. And for example, if you plug a hub, authenticate one device and plug all other devices in the other parts of the hub, the other devices will be allowed as well. So if you want authenticate, all the others can pass. The other one, it's domain. It's allowed 2 domains, one for voice and one for data. There is another one that is multi-host, which allows just one as well. We will go through that more specifically later. And this is the order, right? So the order, .1x first, then MAB, priority, .1x first, then MAB. This enables port auto control, violation protect, MAB enables MAB in the port. .1x authenticator initiate the process, and this is some timeout that sometimes, most of the time, I never had it. I did once with the help of tech, because the authentication the timeout was pretty high, but then we just reduced. I think it was 5 to 5.3, 5 quiet period 5, TX period 2, and something like this. I don't remember exactly. I think we just increased to 3 and keep this on a 5, but was needed for that situation. And what else we have here? Basic stuff from the switches. IP HTTP secure server is mandatory for post-tree and guest redirects, right? TAC access VLAN interface 11, radio source VLAN interface 11. What else have here? The TAC server. So here on the top of the configuration, we create the groups, these 2 groups, right? These 2 group server, and here we create the server itself. So this is the radius radius attributes that you can use. Most of the time, I always use this one, this 4 radio server groups. But there is once or twice that I need to add some attributes, but it's something very specific. You need to go to the radio server attributes and check, okay, I want more this information, I want this other information. There is a list that I can provide. I'll put in this video in the description of all the radio server attributes that is possible to add. And then ISE nodes created, and that's it. Basically, that's what we have for this. So this switch is already ready, right? It's already done. I already put all the configuration on it. So let me just log in to you guys see it. And right now it's a little bit slowly because it is trying to reach the radio server, but it's not possible because remember that there is a firewall here, and the firewall probably is not allowing 1812 or in 1813. So let's see it. Password. Okay. Show run. Okay, so as you guys can see, same thing as the script shows. Same thing. So we can do some tests here just to make sure that the communication is okay, but it's not okay because we have the firewall between them, and right now it's not gonna work, right? So let's do this pretty quickly. Let's go to the firewall just to check this communication between these two guys. And what we do, we will create a rule that allows the IP address of the switch 10.1.1.251 to communicate with ISE on ports 1812 and 1813. Basic thing. Okay, as you guys know, policies, access control. We go to the policy that is being used right now, which is security lab policy. We just click on the pencil. I will create servers to internal. I'll create here, so I'll just copy it to the same policy. I will copy below, right? It's gonna make a copy of this rule, and then we can edit. So let me edit this one. That was for the NTP. And on the FMC and secure firewall class, we can talk about that later. So basically now I'm coming from the data as a source, going to the server, right? Our source will be ISE, will be switch. So you can have objects here, or you can just type the IP here, 10.1.1.251. Object is always the best option because they have description, they can be used in a lot of places, but for this case I'm just doing in another way to check you that. So 192.168.1.11, and the ports, we're gonna remove this one. I don't know if there is here, I don't remember. No, there is not. So this is UDP. So UDP radius runs over UDP 1812, 1813. This will be switch to ISE. You can change that later. I don't want an inspection for this one, and I don't want a login here. I'm just gonna save it and deploy it. Okay guys, here goes. After the deployment being completed, let's go back to ISE, and I want to show you something. So basically we are on the switch here, right? So not anymore because we lost the access. So let's go to restart this, admin Cisco. So here we go. We can do a test like test AAA group radius, a test only for communication. Let's try in Ignacio as username, password Cisco. I like to use new code and hit enter. Let's see what's gonna happen. Now the switch is trying to communicate with the radio server on ports 1812 and 1813, and we should see something like this reaching ISE at least. So let's go to ISE, and we should see this on operations, live logs. If not, here it goes. So we got an authentication from SW03 trying to connect. It's showing valid because it's authentication from the switch, right? So that doesn't work right now. So but we have the authentication happening 2 minutes ago, and probably you'll see authorization failed here because it's failing, right? So that's why. So basically the communication between ISE and the switch is okay right now because we have the rules. The integration between ISE and AD is okay. In our next video we will start to create some rules to create some authentication rules, then some authorization based on that Active Directory groups. We'll talk about more some of the commands that we have on ISE on the suite to check this. So basically, our next step will be configure the machine, this machine user A, to authenticate on SW03 as authenticator using ISE and collecting information from the and check the login credentials from the AD. Just basic thing, what it's called IP-PIP, which is check only the credentials, only login and password, so it's protected IP. I will show to you guys that it's possible, for example, to does not validate the ISE server certificate, the radio server certificate, or it's possible. We'll do both. Okay, I think for this class we are good. So we configure the integration between ISE and Active Directory. We configure the switch, and guys, comment, subscribe. If you want that script, I can provide to you that later. Just send me a message on the comments or in my social network, LinkedIn, that I always mention that. Just give me a message and I can provide this script to you. You can use in your lab and do your own tests, but let's keep working here. God bless you. See you soon. Bye bye.